Before we begin today's podcast, we must say that this podcast may contain explicit language, content, or opinions. The stories, ideas, and perspectives of all that appear are for entertainment purposes only, and do not necessarily reflect the truth. Thanks and enjoy.
Chewing the fat. Chewing the fat. He's just chewing the fat.
Alright boys, before we start, I've got a few sponsors I have to give a shout out to. Now Jock, you're studying engineering, aren't you?
I am, Benny.
You are? Wow. What? Give me a business within the engineering sort of field.
Oh, mate, the first one I'd go to would be Hastings Deerings.
Hastings Deerings. Well,
Caterpillar.
I'll stop you right there. Now, did you know that Hastings Deerings is supplied their hydraulic steels by Hydraulic Steels Australia?
I did not know that, Benny.
You didn't? Well, funny you should say that, because Hydraulic Steels Australia was formed to fill a gap in the market. There's a multitude of small, medium and large size engineering workshops throughout Australia supplying hydraulic repair and manufacturing service to the hydraulic industry. Such businesses operate under intensely high pressures. Traditional hydraulic steel suppliers are not geared towards these businesses, but they are. What do you think about that, Jock?
I think the next time I need hydraulic steels, I'll be going to Hydraulic Steels.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will. They've got the largest range, speed and agility, and customer care. So if you need any hydraulic steel, go to Hydraulic Steels Australia. Now, second sponsor, as you guys probably noticed in the last podcast, we had some intro music, which was absolute banger. You guys agree?
Agreed.
Favourite part of the podcast.
Yeah, well, look. Okay. Now, that was done by a friend of mine called Will Skulls. You've met Will Skulls, haven't you, Jock?
Yes.
Yeah, sure have. You two, don't know? I don't know.
No, I don't
No,
think so.
well, anyways, between him and another girl from college called Wink Fleming, they make up Nate Skulls, which is a very good young band coming through, okay? Now, they've brought out a song called When We Walk. Do yourself a favour, it's an absolute banger. Go listen to it. They've got a new single coming out soon and also an EP, so keep your eye out for that. And yeah, of course, Will did our intro music, so big thanks to him and go give them a listen. All right. Boys, welcome. Okay.
Thanks for having me, Benny.
No worries. Today on the podcast, I got two great guests. Okay, and great they are. The first is a Chewing the Fat alumni who came under some criticism last episode for cancelling last second and forcing me to have to talk to Jack Walton on the podcast again. He's come back to right his wrongs, and I believe he also has a wager with our last guest, Sam Parks, on who will get the most listens. If you've gotten this far into the episode, it's too late. You're on Jock's side of the wager.
That's true. Parksy wouldn't be happy.
Yeah,
No. My second guest is a Chewing the Fat virgin, and oh how we will pop his cherry tonight. School vice captain, head boarder, prefect, boyfriend, cyclist, male model. All these things have led him to being on the biggest podcast in East Brisbane, maybe the world. I'm, of course, talking about my good friend and one-time lover, Sam Donaldson. Sam.
Benny,
Dono.
thanks for having me, mate.
No worries. Thanks for coming in, boys. Obviously, very excited to have you both here. We're gonna try and change it up a little bit. We've been talking a lot of sport in the last few podcasts, which I don't know, it's probably something that we're good at, but I want to sort of change it up, talk a bit of life. You know, we're only young, but we've lived a good life. You know, of course, I've got all the Hall of Fame behind me. Roosters going through the grand final after they pump Melbourne next week. We're watching Collingwood versus GWS late in the third quarter.
Benny, I do have a quick question about the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, mate.
What's the criteria? How do you get on there? What's the process of selection?
I thought Stoinis was getting taken off.
No, the two guests I had last week tried to pressure me into that, but then during the week I said, no, you know what? I'm not going to do that because Stoinis is the best looking man in world cricket and he deserves to be on the wall, you know? That's what I think anyways. It's a good question, Jock. I think somehow each person on this wall has touched me in some way, you know?
John Deere. Good.
John. I met John. Barnaby's actually touched me.
Shocking rig by Putin.
Yeah, Putin. Yeah, I won't go there.
Yeah, we'll leave that one for another day, Benny.
Barnaby Joyce has actually touched me before. I shook his hand once. One of the best days of my life, I think. Yeah, what are you? Obviously, you guys roommates with Parksy. What did you think about the last podcast with him?
It was good.
I thought it was good. I think Parksy's got a fair bit of podcasting experience.
Yeah, he was
listening. So
he was good. He spoke very well, I thought. So you got big shoes to fill, and GWS is just taking a mark in the foot.
See you later.
All right.
Sorry, Flatos.
No, that's all right. I'll try and get through this now. So, for those of you who are watching on YouTube or on Facebook, unfortunately, the two boys to my left have girlfriends, isn't that right?
I wouldn't say it's unfortunate.
Well, unfortunate for the ladies out there who are wondering, but not unfortunate for you, obviously, two lovely girls.
That's correct, Flatos.
Yes.
How are you, mate?
I'll let you know.
Let you know? Okay.
No good.
To be continued.
Yeah. Just can't be tamed,
Fair enough.
And I don't want, people to go, oh, is that Ben Blyton from Chewing the Fat podcast? I don't want it to be like that. I want to sort of just find the one for me,
Yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty tough now finding someone that hasn't heard of the podcast.
I know. And that's all they want me for is just the money. Because two sponsors.
Well, we've just heard from the sponsored segments, yeah.
So, no good, mate. But back to you guys. I think when I first met both of your girlfriends, or when your girlfriends became your girlfriends, I don't think either of them liked me very much.
I wouldn't say that.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that at all.
Really?
Yeah, no, not one bit.
I don't think Pip liked me for a while.
I don't think that at all, Benny.
Oh, okay. I didn't like Pip for a while.
I think you're a bit hard on yourself there, Benny.
I like her now because I've sort of realised it was silly. At the start, it was like, I don't like you because you're taking my mate away from me. Not because of anything she did, because she's obviously lovely.
Whereas in my case, it was just you were just trying to embarrass me, weren't you?
Yeah.
I still remember that. That was at Fridays, wasn't it?
No, I was at Regatta.
Regatta.
Oh,
yeah.
Regatta, yeah, that's what I mean, yeah.
That was silly.
Oh, jeez.
I was a bit worked up.
Yeah, well, yeah, she did say that she couldn't really care less, so at the time. Whereas you did think that you were
Brutal.
making a bit of a scene.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought I was doing better than what it was, I think.
Yeah.
But
next time.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why I do it, but I do. So any proposals coming up?
No.
Waiting for Jock. Actually, no, we're waiting for Parksy, actually.
Yeah,
Parksy's first, is he?
Parksy's first, yeah.
Parksy's
Because
first,
he
like,
said last
He's about
time
8 years now, isn't he, Jocko?
Yeah.
8 years.
I was
What's
going
that?
to say maybe even 9.
Just be pretty close to a decade.
So like since like year 7 or 8.
Oh, year 4, was it?
Yeah.
No. It's,
I think it's about 6. I think it's about 6.
6, okay.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
He's doing well, tough. He's doing well.
well, it's particularly weak when you look at my numbers, and then Dono's a step above me, so I'm clearly the rookie here. I think.
Yeah, you are the rookie.
I
Are you learning anything from those two? Or is there not...
Well,
you just
I'm
trying
learning.
to not...
I'm learning from their mistakes. I'd say.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, fair go.
Yeah, that's fair.
Mostly
That's fair.
Parksy's mistakes.
Yeah, yeah. We could say that.
Parksy's fucking bulletproof. Anyways, won't go there. Yeah, nice. So, you guys are moving out at the end of the year, are you? Or you're staying, Dono, but the other boys are moving out. Is that right?
Yeah, still don't know at the moment. I don't know, potentially could still stay in the house.
Yeah.
Mum and Dad are taking it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, potentially just stay there.
Cop
kick
that
on.
granny flat. That'd be unreal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you moving out? Is that the plan?
Yeah. I don't know where I'm going though. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just, wait up, hold up, and see. And
That'll be
an eye
a
out.
sad time, breaking up the gang,
2 years of love.
Yeah.
breaking up the band.
2 years of love.
2 years, and then before that, all of us at Kings, and then
Yeah.
before that, Bez, Donna, and I at Churchy, and then
Yeah.
before that at Prep. So been living
Yeah,
with
true.
each other for a
So
fair while now.
How old were you guys when you started at prep? Obviously,
We're 12, 2010.
primary school, primary boarding school. For those of you who don't know,
Yeah.
Toowoomba Prep.
We got 10-year.
Yeah, 10-year
Yeah,
reunion next
yeah.
year. So
Shit,
How crazy. Pretty keen.
that'll be. Will there be people you haven't seen since you left
Since
year
you
7?
yeah.
bit few there. Yeah.
I was talking to a few blokes. They've got theirs this year, and they're just saying like how crazy it's coming up, and they're just saying everyone's posting in the chat just how wild it is, and So,
Oh, like a good time.
mm.
Yeah, it would be.
See,
I reckon it'd be great.
I was thinking, I don't even know how they're going to get onto like me. Like I haven't spoken
No,
to anyone.
So I think someone makes a Facebook chat or a Facebook page.
Group,
Yeah, and then that's how we all get together.
Yeah.
So
Have you got anything to do with the Churchy reunion next year?
I don't know if we had one.
Well, it's 5 years next year.
Do they have a
Yeah.
5 year? Some places don't have
5
like,
years. I thought 5 years are the
Well,
big
I
one.
think
Like all the like.
I don't know.
There is-
I'm
there definitely
pretty
is
sure
5.
Churchy runs it.
There
I'm
is-
pretty sure Churchy
well,
runs
the
the Old Boys. so-
Association
Yeah.
does.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'd say they'd sort it out. Because I know this year they didn't have a 5 year one. They had like an Old Boys Day
Yeah.
where particular group, everyone was invited, but it was kind of particular groups were prioritised kind of thing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like just from when I moved to college, all the boys there were a year older than me, so they all had theirs this year, and it's like a big thing in Sydney is the 5 year reunion. So I just assumed we'd have one too.
Oh,
Yeah.
we'll see. I'm sure.
Yeah,
Hope so.
right.
We'll just have to make one otherwise.
Yeah, just have one here.
Have one
Yeah.
here. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
lots of room.
Podcast.
Here, so big joint effort podcast.
Yeah. Get Buddy Churchy to sponsor it.
Oh, that wouldn't be bad.
No, I'd have to cut down a lot of my content.
Oh yeah, that's
What do you reckon
that's,
you'd
that's,
get? What do you,
that's dangerous.
what do you reckon they'd offer?
Big coin.
Bitcoin.
We will offer you Bitcoin's a lot of money these days.
No, well, it's lower than what it was.
Yeah, correct.
It was like 10, 12 grand at one stage. Now it's
Mm.
like 4 grand or something, I think.
Oh.
I don't know. Don't quote me. Do your own research.
Don't you reckon you always run into someone that's like, man, I made a lot of money from Bitcoin.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
they're never too far away.
Yeah.
But you don't know if they're bullshitting or not.
Yeah, and you're like, he's driving a Nissan Pulsar, so you're not too sure. Like you're like,
Yeah,
look, that is a money that rich people drive, but it's also not that expensive.
Yeah.
So you boys moved from Toowoomba Prep. You're both from
Yeah, me and Donna are both from North Star.
what's that?
area.
What's that area called?
Well, it'd be the Gundwindy North Star area.
Catchment? The Gundwin catchment? Is it something like that?
No, I don't say that.
Northwest
pretty
region.
cool. Yeah.
Northwest, yeah. Golden Triangle.
Golden
Are
Triangle.
you-
Yeah, there you go. That's probably a.
Are you both in the Golden Triangle?
It depends. If you're buying our place, then we're not. Then we're in the Golden Triangle. But no, other way around. If you're buying it, like if you're selling the place,
Yeah.
then you're like, yeah, we're in it. But if you're buying it, you're like, no, mate, you're not in it.
Yeah,
like,
Yeah. Well,
right on the border, essentially.
yeah, okay, righto.
But Dono, they're in the
Dono's,
heart of it,
Dono's in the heart
the
of it.
centre point of the triangle.
I heard Dono owns all of it.
Jeez, big of tree.
And then both went to Toowoomba Prep. How many years did you do at Toowoomba Prep? Years 6 and 7?
Just the one.
I know, I both just did 1 year.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
just the one, year 7.
Is that what most people did?
Majority.
Yeah, all right. It'd be pretty.
Probably
Pretty-
2/3, I reckon. 2/3 of our
Yeah.
grade.
Was that sort of to try and like lube you up to get you ready for Churchy?
Yeah.
Or get you ready for
That
seniors?
was, yeah, and that was the plan from the
Yeah,
parents.
just like
Bit of a stepping stone.
just really like handheld boarding school. Essentially.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
If we wanted to go to the shop, or we didn't have a choice, we'd go like I know what, once a month
Yeah.
or so.
Once a month.
And you'd
we
all
all get
go-
our $1.
Yeah, we'd all go to this boarding house, the whole group of us, and we'd get $1 each to spend. at the boarding
Inflation,
school.
that'd be like $1.10
No,
now.
no, but apparently they've been getting $1 for like 30 years.
Oh, really?
So they haven't been adjusting for inflation. Back in the day, $1 get you a fair bit. But,
Yeah.
The trick was to wait right at the end of the line, so you get everyone's change, and then when it's your turn, you've got like about $10 to spend.
No way.
Mate, that was the trick.
but
I thought you'd keep your change. If you got change,
No,
you'd
no,
go,
you weren't
I'm
allowed
saving
money.
this for
I
next
think we had
time.
to pocket it back.
You
to
weren't
Mr.
allowed
Bassett.
money. You'd give it back.
Yeah, so
Oh, so you just be like, right, I get the most out of the change, give it to the
Yeah.
last person.
Sometimes they didn't reward you doing smart things like that. I remember me and my mate, we thought,
The
let's
boarding house didn't.
what we should do is let's
Because
combine.
it's against the rules.
We said let's combine our money. We bought a tub of ice cream that was on special,
that's
and then we were going
That's right.
swimming afterwards, and they didn't let us swim.
Well, did you wait half an hour?
Yeah, it was half an hour. They just said, well, you've eaten all this ice cream. I was like, well, it's been half an hour, but
Yeah,
they didn't want a
true.
bar of it.
Well, when you break rules, that's what you get, Jock.
I was working around the rules.
you
I
get
wasn't-
what you get.
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
don't get upset.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Life
You
motto.
big rule breaker.
Big bad boy.
Yeah. And then you guys transitioned into Churchy boarding school. That's where I met you. Now, I came a year later than most. So I came in year 9 when the boys started in year 8. What was year 8 like? It sounded pretty rowdy.
It was pretty
good.
wild.
It was good. Yeah, we had a great corridor. Good
Why was
time.
it? Was that because you like the stresses of school sort of haven't hit you yet, you're sort of just like, you're just there pretty much to have fun. You're not there to study or anything yet.
Yeah, essentially, and like a lot of these boys coming just from places where the sporting opportunities and that aren't that great, and all of a sudden every afternoon we can go run around and play touch and stuff, and like with heap of mates. And also, our grade was particularly rowdy because we had a lot of like younger brothers.
Yeah.
In our grade, like in year 8.
Oh yeah, and the older brothers were at the.
And so like usually the younger brothers aren't as careful, kind of stepping out into that stuff. So they're a bit more like. Think they own the place a bit more.
Yeah,
I feel like.
True.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, I remember there's definitely a hierarchy within the boarding house, or within each grade as well.
Oh yeah,
like
No,
not a
hierarchy.
not. I wouldn't say a hierarchy.
Are you saying within the grade? No, I thought you meant in the boarding house.
No, within the grade, it wasn't a hierarchy, but there's like groups of people that do different things,
Yeah, different groups.
and
of
like
friends.
depending on how you look at like the social scene,
But
you know,
that's also that also gets more apparent
when you get older.
because especially in year 12, like that's what I remember a lot of churches now as just year 12 because it was a while ago.
Yeah, recency bias.
Yeah, and when you
Jock
think
taught me that one in episode 1. If there's a keen listener, that's just
they'll
gone.
know.
Yeah.
And well, I've lost what I was thinking. Actually, I just seen that goal. What was I talking about?
You just remember year 12.
Oh yeah. So like when we remember year 12, we remember that we were all split up. So you think, that's what this is like, kind of the people I was around in year 12, and that's who you think your groups are. But I remember in the younger years, we were all pretty much doing a lot of stuff together.
All together, and we were different in most grades because all of us would do shit together, like
doing the exact same stuff.
just getting up to trouble,
going to the shop together.
Yeah.
climbing on roofs.
Oh, the crazy Russian down in the river.
I still think that's a myth. I never saw it.
Mate.
Not a myth. Not a myth.
Shout out to Timmy Housen. Timmy Housen knows exactly what's going on.
Oh, see, I always heard about it, and I went, someone's fucking with me here.
No,
Like this
man.
cannot be true.
Speaking of,
Proper houseboat in the mangroves.
dude had a
Jesus.
motorbike and he chased us on the motorbike.
Chase us on the flat. It was wild.
Like, no, it was pretty scary.
That would, and didn't you just go down and throw rocks at his houseboat and shit, and he just come out and?
Well, look, we're not trying to incriminate ourselves here, Ben.
No,
what's
I'm sure he's dead.
What's the statute?
He might still be there. If you're a
What's the
churchy boy, go have a look.
What's the statute of limitations on rock throwing at houses?
I'm on podcasts 5 minutes. I
Oh,
think.
okay. Well, then
so-
we're all good. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I never saw it happen. I saw once them run because it was down on the Smith Ovals or something, wasn't it?
Smith, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
And
back corner.
I remember just like we were passing footy or something, and then I see people running past,
pinning
and they're like, "Run! The Russian's coming! Run!" And I was like I'd always heard about him, but I'd never seen him. I was like, "Oh fuck, he's gonna get on his motorbike and kill us!" So I started pegging it, and I was a pretty fast boy back in my day, so front of the pack.
Quite fast and agile, just like Hydraulic Steels Australia.
Ooh,
Benny,
fast and agile. That's right.
what's the terminology
That's right.
there you were
Yeah.
reading up on before?
I can't remember.
Oh, okay. Well, sorry, I tried to lead you in there for a good one, but
Yeah, mid read. That costs more.
oh, okay.
No jokes. If you're listening, Steve, thank you for everything. Yeah, so I remember coming in the boarding house and thinking straight away, Dono's the big dog.
Jesus,
I've got to make friends with him, or I've got to fight him.
Yeah.
You know, you're here in jail, you see the big dog, you got to punch the, you know.
Yeah, you
Well, I
gotta,
think you'd flog me in a fight, mate.
Well, I
So
came in.
that's safe.
I came in and like when you're that age, I don't know. I thought the social capital was built on like how good of a footy player you were, which it sort of was, to be fair.
Oh, definitely.
That's
That's
prime
first-
example.
That's Well, I came in and I went, he must be like he must be like the Ace 5 or something. The way that like he seemed like everyone was in Dono's room. Everyone was like, well, I was like, oh fuck, I gotta make friends with him. And you're like, oh, you play footy, mate? I might.
Ben, you're on a scholarship, weren't you?
No, I had to turn it down because they wanted me to be a day boy.
Ah. See, fair enough. You got to do what you got to do.
Got it. And I wanted to be a boarder, so
Mate, the risk you take.
Dono, you remember your so at Toowoomba Prep when we have our valedictory dinner,
yeah.
all the teachers come up and they give you like a nickname kind of thing about your they summarise your year,
Yeah.
and so they do like I don't know Ben
Flight off.
Ben
Big
someone Blighton, and then like that would explain it, and then like we'll see if Dono can you remember what yours was?
I can't, no, mate.
Oh, I can. It was Sam, Mr. Popularity Donaldson. So,
Call a big bluff on that one. Jock's got a big grin on his face right now.
We could,
Just pulled that one out.
We could ask Mr. Mackay about that one.
Ask him next year.
I'm sure he's listening.
Oh yeah, well I'm sure he is with your viewership base.
Yeah, mate.
Any?
Yeah, well, I wasn't really a boarder though, because I lived like, I don't know.
You're like a day boarder. You're like in on the weekdays, out on the weekends.
Yeah, but like
Best
I
of
couldn't.
both worlds, really.
Yeah, it was good actually. And then I'd bring like most of the boarders home with me, and then, I don't know, we'd do whatever.
Do what you got to do.
Yeah, but what was I going to say? But then there was a lot of boys who came in like year 11 who obviously came in on scholarships and stuff. There was this tennis player, pretty shit bloke.
Don't know him.
Never heard of him. His brother was alright though.
Fair few boys in year 10 as well. But year 10, 11.
Oh,
boys
came in.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Well, I suppose most years then. Well, there's only two in the year I
When
came
did Barry
in.
come in?
Year 10.
Barry came in year 10, but it was
And
only
then
me.
Did Wiley come in with him? No, he came in year 11.
No, he came in year 11. Yeah.
Did he only come in year 11?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I thought he was there before that. Obviously. What about Jordan Henry?
Year 11.
So yeah, he came with Wiley. Yep.
Mm.
Yeah, okay.
I remember dropping Jordan Henry on the flat one night, just quietly.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, but it's sort of the evolution of the boarding house changed with our year going through. Like, I remember when we were in year 9, the year 10s didn't have to hand in their phones at night.
Oh yeah, this
Oh.
was such a.
Well, when we first rocked up, the year 9s, so when we rocked up in year 8, the year 9s didn't have to hand their phones in year 8. And they wrecked it for us.
Right.
And then every year onwards, they kept wrecking it. So
Well,
they
I
kept,
thought it was us that wrecked it.
No,
it
it
was
was always
them.
them. It's people like Brock McCanley and Sharuk. They would sit on their phones. all the time.
Sharuk. I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Well, for those who don't know, is Sharuk alive still? I've heard that he's.
oh no.
Well, he's in prison for murder. So
Actually, I knew that when we were at school. When we were at school, that happened, wasn't it? And he FaceTimed us from prison cell.
Yeah, not us.
not us.
Not yet.
A few boys above us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a wild story.
That
That's
is wild.
Well, I
man.
heard he may have copped a bit of a death sentence.
oh, bit of a.
bit of a light let
Did you say light letter?
Yeah. Slap on the wrist. All right. Can't be.
That was- Jesus Christ. Right.
I forgot about him. I did remember that he went to jail, but his dad was like the second richest man in Pakistan or something. So his jail cell
Was he
had
like president or something?
Oh, I got no
his,
idea.
his jail cell had like
dad
a
bought the jail.
PlayStation in it. Yeah, his dad bought it.
The
It was
dad
like
bought the
Pablo Escobar stuff. Like when Pablo Escobar
Yeah.
went to jail and he bought the jail and he's playing like tennis and shit. That's what these kids.
Yeah.
But he was like, oh, I can't leave my room, so like I just put all the things I like in my room. So he had like an Xbox and shit.
Scott.
Yeah, well, not all our mates from school are now in jail, are they?
No.
Most of them aren't.
Wouldn't know anyone else.
No,
I
yeah.
think we're all pretty safe.
But it's I find it interesting how since leaving school, how the relationship between all the boarders is still really good, but then like between the day boys isn't, or between boarders and day boys sort of thing. Like I'd say
Yeah.
I'm a lot closer with boarders post school than I am with day boys sort of thing. And that's just because I suppose you spend more time with them, blah blah blah.
But yeah, I do also like for you, Dono, depend on your uni stuff because you hang out with a few of those.
Yeah,
The
I
fellas
see a fair few boys that do it,
Yeah.
that I do uni with.
Yeah.
So, but like again, yeah, like it's you hang out with your uni crowd,
Yeah.
you
See,
hang
I-
out with your close mates from school.
Like
it's,
for me, I went like at school. I was mates with day boys. I was mates with boarders, and then I left everyone and
Yeah,
went
and
to
you
a
went down
different
south.
college. And then when I came back, I was still mates with the boarders,
Yeah.
but I wasn't as good at mates with the day boys sort of thing.
mm,
So like I didn't have uni or anything like that with anyone. So that's why I don't know. I think that sort of bond you make in boarding school sort of shines through.
mm,
Oh,
bang.
I've got him to kick 3 too. He's got his second.
Ooh.
He's the bloke who bet on himself
Oh.
during the season and got 10 weeks, and now he's finally back.
10 weeks.
Yeah, you got 10 weeks.
Pretty bad old crime.
Bad man.
Betting on yourself, yeah. Match fixing. Yeah, so I've got written here, Dono being the head of the hierarchy from day dot. But that changed over time, I guess.
That did change.
It matters less and less.
I peaked.
It matters less and less. Like, once you get to year 12, you don't care who's in charge or whatever.
Yeah.
Obviously, because, the people who were in charge weren't really like...
Papa.
Anyways, I should have been house captain, Well,
I remember who was in the middle
rash.
of who was in the middle of our good in house photo. Do you remember that one, Ben?
I think I was to the left hand of the house captain, which makes me...
No, I remember I just snaked that one from you, and you weren't too happy about it.
I don't know. Can we find that picture?
Ooh.
Nah, I don't know. I don't think that's true.
Yeah, okay, we'll have to dig up the evidence.
Do the listeners know that both of you guys were vice?
Vice captain. Are we in again? Or Collingwood on the comeback. Only 20 down, 14 minutes to go. It's doable. It's very doable. Yeah, me and Jock and Jack Walton, who's been on previous podcasts, probably never going to be another one. We were the vice captains of our house, and then a man named Ash Whitehead was the house captain. Essentially, I was the big dog.
Tell you what, I think Ash would be a good guest for the podcast. I think you'd be able to get a fair bit out of him.
Fair bit out of him.
He's a secret man, that man.
Yeah, he's got a lot.
I think if you pried hard enough, you'd be able to
Yeah,
Bust
open
him.
him up, bust him up.
open him up.
Hmm.
What do you think?
No,
No, don't like it.
no, I think he's a good mate and all, but I don't know how.
Oh, he touched it.
I don't know. How,
behind.
fuck me, that's twice now. I don't know how good he'd be on a. I think he's sort of like be a bit timid. And, I don't know. I could be wrong.
Yeah, get a few drinks into him.
Yeah, a few margaritas.
They counted that.
Did they?
Oh,
Oh, how good!
Wow.
And we're inside 50 again. We could just turn this into a fight companion, like just while the game's going on. Now we will talk a little bit of sport. I think it'd be remiss of us if we didn't. We're obviously coming to the pointy end of all seasons, really, all the winter sports. You boys, both Dono, you support the Bulldogs.
Doggies fan, mate.
Doggies fan.
Through and
They
through.
had a pretty hot run, but didn't quite.
So close.
I think getting pumped early in the season doesn't
yeah, it
help.
was rough. No.
Yeah, they were pretty much the bye round.
Did you
1 to
see
12.
all the Facebook like this happens if this happens?
Yeah,
and then
the
the Doggies can make the final.
if the Doggies had stopped 6 tries per game more at the start
If
of the
the
season,
Dragons
they
can
would
beat-
actually be coming fourth or something shit like that.
if the Dragons beat the Storm by 20, the Dogs can make the final.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
And then Jocko, you're a Cowboys supporter.
yeah, another rough season.
Possibly the toughest team to support, I think,
Another rough old season for the Cowboys. You
because
look
they've
at
got such a good team.
that team on paper. It's
Did Doggies get over them in the end?
pretty juicy. Yeah,
Yes,
they
they did.
did. The Cows, I think, finished 13th in the
Yeah,
end.
yeah.
Wow.
Especially all that hype they had pre-season.
It's just injuries, I think, for the Cows again.
Yeah.
A lot of injuries hurt
Yeah.
us, but
No Jonathan
I'm-
Thurston.
very happy with that Scotty Drinkwater signing mid-season.
What are you going to do with him when Val Holmes comes next year?
Well, I'm going to hope Val Holmes can't. Oh, actually, I don't know if I want Val Holmes there. You change your body a fair bit when you go into the NFL.
Yeah, you look at
Well,
Jared.
when
Do
you
you reckon
try-
he really
Jared
will come back?
I'm not sure. It depends how serious he is about the NFL thing. If he's serious about it, then
If
he
he's
should.
willing to put in like years of work just being a shit
Yeah.
kicker in the NFL, then probably not. But I don't know whether he's when
Wow.
the fucking Cowboys go, hey bruh,
Hey,
I've got a
brother.
mill for you back
Yeah.
here.
Miller season
He'll go,
What's he on over there?
wouldn't be much.
400.
400.
I don't know. What do you know? How much he's on? I think it'd be about
I wouldn't
half a
even-
million,
yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't even say
Max.
that. I think
Yeah, max,
it's a pretty
max.
big pay cut to what
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was on.
But then again, if he spends 3 years toiling away in that and then finally makes it, he'll make what he's
Yeah,
lost
it's
in
worth it.
half a season. Something. Who have you guys got? We've obviously got Storm versus Parramatta tonight. You guys, either you got Parramatta to win?
I want them to, but they
I
won't.
want them to too.
No, I can't see the Storm losing after a loss.
Yeah,
at
they've
home.
done it. They've done it this year though. That's
What
they
did Parksy call it? He called it, didn't he? Storm loss.
No, I called it last
Oh, you
time.
you called
Yeah.
it. Oh,
I
jeez.
said I was certain they were going to lose to Canberra. I tipped it.
That was good.
everything.
That was great.
This week I'm not so sure, but man,
So
I don't
the
know.
Eels looked good last week, but the Broncos look pretty bad. I don't know what to take from that.
Yeah, I
game.
don't know whether the pass it. Scotty.
Yes! Oh,
Yes. Oh, this is big, baby.
This would be a massive choking from the Giants.
Yeah. So Collingwood's just kicked a goal to put them 13 behind with about 12 minutes to go.
quick math.
Yeah, well, you
Come
know,
on, you Benny.
only the best on this podcast. So then that would obviously put. Do you want to stop?
No.
That would obviously put Roosters Storm against each other and Canberra Rabbitohs. What are your picks in those two games?
I liked before last night's game. I was eyeing off the Storm Canberra grand final. I was paying pretty good money.
Yeah.
Just from a value standpoint, not
Yeah.
really. I don't know if that'll happen.
I don't think Roosters are losing.
Well, it's just hard. That'll be a great game. That's why I want the Storm to win. I think that Roosters Storm will be a better game than Eels Roosters.
Yeah.
But I think Canberra.
Canberra,
On
yeah.
the other side, I think that's pretty good.
Souths, man.
The South should have lost last night.
I know they should have, but they didn't, which kept my multi alive. But if Collingwood loses, then my multi's dead again.
And we still sure that Seagulls team, they played well, but they're still without their best player.
Yeah, their best player. Yeah, that's right. I don't know. There's just something that makes me feel like Rabbitohs could put in a good effort against Canberra, sort of thing. Like
Yeah, potentially. Yeah,
a Wayne Bennett coach side with as much power as they have. Like Reynolds was off his game last night.
Do you see his kicking game though?
Yeah. Who is it? Ben Reid.
This is fucking huge.
Bucks.
Nathan
Buckley, one
Not having a
of
bar of it.
the greatest Collingwood players ever, and he's that's a good grab.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got Storm to beat Melbourne.
Storm to
To
beat
beat
Melbourne, you reckon?
Safe bet there,
Roosters.
Benny.
Roosters. It's these fucking VBs, mate. Roosters to beat
Oh,
Storm.
he shanked it. Oh,
Fuck. Yeah. Eddie Maguire's not happy.
He's not having a bar of it.
There's still people who go to the AFL with the record and like put in the stats into the books and stuff. Like
Is that what Eddie was doing just then?
that's what he's doing.
Really?
what
Yeah.
writing down behinds?
Behind, they're like
Does
so
he
it
own
has
it?
like the full
Yeah,
stats
he's
sheet.
the owner of them, isn't
Yeah,
he?
he owns them. Yeah, or he's the
Pretty
CEO.
sure he's the president
He's the
or
CEO.
something.
Yeah, the president. Yeah,
Probably GM or something.
president. I think it's president. Yeah. Yeah, and people still go to the AFL and do it. Like you see every now and then, like at the cricket, people take the scorebook to cricket and do it. But
That's
Like-
keen.
Mate, I don't even like scoring when I'm playing for the team that I'm. Like, you know.
no, because when you're scoring, it's not you that's playing.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You're like in cricket, you're out, and they're like, "Oh, I reckon you could score for us." You're like, "Fuck."
Just got
Well,
out, mate.
Bloke just ran you out. You just cut him short a few runs here and there. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, so I think Roosters will beat Storm. I think Canberra will beat Rabbitohs, and I think the Roosters will win by probably 40 in the grand final if Canberra play them or Rabbitohs.
Cool.
Either one, I don't care. We're going to beat them by a lot.
Oh, I don't think I like the Raiders.
Yeah.
Against the Roosters,
Well, I just think it's a grand final. I don't think it's ever going to be too.
I think that's the reason we're going to pump Canberra is because it's a grand final.
No. No. Also, we haven't got there yet. We've got to wait till to see how that game next week comes out. Whoever they're
Yeah,
playing.
you mean the Canberra Rabbitohs one, and then they'll play the Roosters.
I'm talking about the Roosters. I don't think that's a certainty.
Roosters at the MCG, I don't think they've maybe lost one game this year. At the SCG,
Can you imagine if the Eels win tonight?
It would be.
I would lose $50, but I'd be
It'd be interesting.
Be
I'd be happy.
pretty happy.
I'd be happy. I'd be. Tell you who'd
Could
be
you
happy
imagine?
for.
be the first time I lose $50 and be happy about it. You know.
I'd be happy for Clint Gutherson. He came up with a cracker of a dance earlier in the season after he scored that try, and he's pretty active on Twitter. I like a bit of
King
Clint Gutherson.
Gutho.
King Gutho.
Well, we did last episode. We did our team of the next decade because the team of the decade came out. I had Gutho as my utility, and fucking Walt scolded me for it.
Oh.
And I just went, well, he's the best utility for the next decade, I reckon.
We'll see. We'll see. I like him.
Yeah. Who's better utility than him for the next decade?
I think Jack Whiten's better than him.
Silence.
I think he's too old.
Jack Whiten.
For the next decade.
Jack Whiten.
24, 25?
Makes him 34.
Yeah. As a utility.
How old's Gutherson?
I don't know, like 19?
I'm pretty sure Gutherson would be close to older than Whiten.
I don't know. That's just a good call from you, Jock, and I'm not willing to pay it.
Thanks, Ben.
That's all. In the AFL, you guys got any idea? Like, say, either team comes out of this, they're versing Richmond in the grand final. Richmond looked bloody good last night.
Sadly.
What do you mean, sadly? You're a Geelong supporter. How does that come about?
I don't know. Most country team, I reckon. So
The most country team, yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably fair. He's got that older.
No, I've Googled it. I've accidentally Googled Clint Eastwood age and it's come up with 89 years. And I thought, so Jack Whiten is older than we both thought.
27.
26.
26. Gutho's 23, 24. 23.
Gutherson is
24.
25. So both they're both on the older side of that team of the decade. But
Yeah.
then again, you only have to have like a few...
5 good years.
Or not even 5. If you have 3 Dally M years,
Yeah.
which would be
Yeah, no.
be pretty...
Well, you look at Justin Hodges was in the team of the last decade, and I'm like, did he even have a year of fucking...
footy then, yeah.
Yeah, so I think Collingwood will probably pull this win off somehow. They'll go and beat Richmond in the grand final, and there'll be beers, women, and glory. And then the Roosters will win the next weekend, and I'll be the drunkest man in Australia. Probably. I think that's how it goes. Anything less is a failure.
What happens if the Roosters get dusted next week?
By who?
By either team.
by heels.
By the Eels. What happens there? What's your reaction there, Benny? Are you having an emergency podcast to really...
To let the fans know.
to let the fans know just how you're feeling? That'd be a good little reaction podcast, I think.
Ball. Come on, sir. Yeah, look, I'd have to have a long, hard think, about what I'm doing with my life. Because the Roosters are really what's getting me through.
Well,
Anyways.
they haven't done too badly.
No, they're
Still a lot better than the cows and the dogs.
Now I've got something. It's a new segment I've made for this. Okay, so I work in a job that has like a lot of repetition and good job. My boss listens to this now actually, which is...
Is that a worry?
It's a problem, yeah. Anyways, and while I'm at work, I tend to think about a lot of strange things. So I like to try and pluck the weirdest one and put it on a paper and then bring it up in the podcast, see what you guys reckon, okay? Whether it's just me or whether you guys agree with it or whatever, okay? So you ready for
Sounds
it?
good.
So this is Ben's big brainstorm of the week, okay?
Great.
Now I was thinking about it. I was in the toilet at work actually and had my pants around my ankles as you do in the
As you
toilet.
do. Fair enough.
We all do that, don't we?
Yeah.
This is when taking a standing up wee, by the way.
Yeah.
Do you guys do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I had to look down at my undies and these new Calvins. Well, not new actually. I got them last Christmas, but that's pretty new for
Yeah.
undies.
Bloody oath.
My new Calvins had a big old rip in the middle of them, under the sort of bit between the two. Yeah. Gooch.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Anyways, the hole was there, and I went, "Oh fuck, these are my new Calvins." I didn't spend any money on it.
Oh,
Collingwood's in with another goal. 6 points up, 7 to go. 6 points down, 7 minutes to go.
red hot.
Oh,
Wow.
God. Anyways, I see the hole in my underwear and I go, like, I've got this hole in my underwear. I need new underwear, but I'm not going to go buy any underwear. I'm going to wait for Christmas and then I'll get new underwear for Christmas.
Good stuff.
And then I thought, remember when you were a kid and you get given like clothes or underwear for Christmas and you'd be like, this is so shit.
Yeah.
Because you want toys and you want cricket bats or you want bloody, and you get underwear and you're like, this is shit. But now all I want for Christmas is underwear.
Yeah. Agree.
Because I'm not going to go buy myself Calvins because they're
30
No,
bucks.
you don't want to buy
30 bucks
Calvin's.
pop.
Yeah.
So if I was going to buy myself undies, I'd be straight to Kmart, I think.
Rivers.
Oh, yeah, Rivers, yeah.
Rivers, yeah.
Is
I
there,
got
there,
count- I
there
got
is no
count-
Rivers in Brisbane, is there?
I got count.
What is that?
Is there Rivers in Brisbane? Rivers is if you're out there, please sponsor. But mate, Rivers is unbelievable.
Yeah, oh, Rivers is
Unbelievable.
good. Oh, I'm not denying
Yeah,
it.
there is. There is.
I just
There's
don't-
one.
I
There's
just
one
haven't
near
seen
Surely
Dad's.
Mount Gravatt.
There's one near Dad's place.
Oh, okay, yep.
Yeah. Anyway, so I don't know whether it's just me that really likes getting underwear for Christmas now, or whether it's just something that you guys do as well. But I don't ever buy undies during the year. I wait for Christmas and then I get my undie fix. You know?
Yeah, mate. Fully agreed.
Yeah.
I haven't, buddy. When was the last time? Probably his last Christmas. Got a few.
That you
pairs
got
of-
undies. Yeah, same.
A few
Same.
pairs of bonds.
Yeah.
Thanks, Haynes.
Yeah, and you always get the good stuff at Christmas. If you go,
Yeah.
because I always think about, if I go out now, what Christmas is, 3 months away? 2 months away?
Jeez.
Three.
Soon, isn't it?
2.5 months away? If I go out now, I'm a tight ass, or I'm just broke, so I'll go out and get shitty underwear that'll last me till Christmas. Or
Some Rios.
I just deal with the Calvins with a hole in it, and then at Christmas I'll get a new set of Calvins.
Mate,
Because-
I'll deal with it.
Because Santa
Do you-
just has no budget. You
What
know?
about, so do you, how many pairs of undies do you have, though? 'Cause
Yeah,
can't you just put that pair, say, oh, all right, that pair's done.
Put it to the
I'll just have
back.
to wash
But I've done
have
you're
to
right.
wash more.
So, yeah, no. Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
At one stage, I had so many undies where I went, oh, these ones got a hole, chuck them. I'm at the stage now where I'm down to like,
You're needing Christmas pretty soon.
yeah, Christmas couldn't come quicker, you know. Oh my god,
Look at the crowd.
Smaller crowd than last
this
night, I
will
reckon.
be amazing. Yeah, Richmond pulls some serious numbers at the
Yeah.
MCG.
95.
Tell you what,
Yeah.
you'd be angry if you left. Like, does that
Yeah,
happen?
yeah. People do that. Actually, a funny story about 2010, Collingwood were in the grand final against St Kilda, and the grand final was tied.
Yeah, I remember this.
And
Oh.
back then, they've changed the rule now,
Yeah.
I think.
Have they
But-
changed it?
But I think
Full
they
new
have.
game.
I think they
It was a
have.
full new
Yeah.
game,
Yeah,
wasn't
they
it?
had to come back the
Next
next week. So they've kicked it down the middle. Oh. Waiting for it. Goal umpire's thinking about it. He's going to give it. He's ready to give it. He's got two arms ready to go. I'm sure this is terrible listening for the viewers. Anyways, so that my uncle and auntie down in Melbourne are mad Collingwood fans, and the first game was tied. They were booked to go to Japan or Fiji or something the next day. They cancelled their flights or moved their flights, which the day before is going to cost you a lot of money,
A bomb.
to the next week just so they could come back and watch the grand final again.
That's pretty
And it was
fair.
a spanking.
Please-
It was a spanking that
They
next
beat
week
they
as
beat St
well.
Kilda, yeah, that's right.
But it wasn't close.
Well, that's
yeah.
all right then.
Anyways, back to the undies. Yeah, I'm at a stage now where I can't afford to be chucking out undies, and I can't afford to be going to buy new undies either. So
I haven't had Calvin's in that long.
Calvin's are the best.
Yeah.
There's a reason Alpha.
I'm a Bonds
Alpha
man.
Yeah,
is
that's came up.
good. Came out, yeah.
Yeah, see, I am.
But see, if I'm getting Alpha at Christmas, and I look
Oh.
at the person who gave it to me, and I go,
Mate.
"Look, bruh,
see,
I'm off you. You know,
I bought a pack.
I'm going to be bouncing you in backyard cricket now."
I bought a pack of those. You know those ones with the days of the week on them.
Yeah,
Like
I've got them
a while
I've got
ago,
them.
and
Yeah.
then
no,
Yeah, well,
it's a behind.
I just I needed them, so I bought them because
So you've
I
got,
wasn't gonna
so you've got
go.
a Monday pair, Tuesday.
Yeah, but because they're from Kmart, they were like $5.
You
for
don't
7
have
pairs of
to.
undies.
You don't have to wear them.
No,
It's
no,
not like
I don't wear.
they shock you if you wear them on the
I
wrong
don't
day.
wear them on the correct days either. But they're $5 for 7 pairs, whereas
Yeah.
like if you're buying bonds or something, it's like $20 for 1 pair.
They're not bad either.
And then they're not terrible. Like they're not going to last you long. But then I got another 7 of these alphas for my birthday because like someone thought it'd be funny.
Whoever
to buy-
gave them to you
Well,
doesn't love you.
No. It was a joke present because my name's Jock, so they bought me Jocks. So
Jocks.
they bought me.
That's
a
really funny.
cheaper- Yeah, it wasn't very funny. I wasn't impressed with the alphas. I was like, surely you could get some bonds for me.
Yeah.
Come on.
Give me some tradies or something with a bit of pedigree, boys. Come on. Yeah, the Calvins are best in the business. I used to always think, I'm not going to wear Calvins or Bonds. I'm just going to get what, is cheap because that's smart. But then I got my first pair of Calvins a couple of years ago and I was like, okay, now we're talking.
We're on.
Oh, are they that
This
much?
is
I've never had a pair
This
of
is
Yeah, I've never
supreme
had them
comfort. I'm wearing a pair right now.
So
Wow.
they're a vast improvement by the sounds of it.
Then the day of the week ones.
No, well, just then obviously
Jock.
Then
any other.
okay, so I'll put it in perspective. If the day of the week ones were a 1, Calvin's are 1,000.
Wow.
Nah, 100.
No.
Oh, who was that? Could we do it in behinds?
Well, it's better if you get a goal now. Like,
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
No, I thought that was interesting because I always think when these things come into my head, I always think it's just me and I'm fucking strange and no one else really gets it. But I'm glad that you guys have.
Yeah, good topic, Benny. I've
Let me know.
never really thought about it that much,
Yeah.
really, but
I think you could talk about that with a lot of things too, like Christmas presents. There's a lot of things that you wouldn't go out and buy, but if you got gifted it as a Christmas
Yeah.
present, you'd be
definitely.
like, "Oh, this is unreal," and you'd use it all the time, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like,
There's heaps of stuff like that.
like
I got a skydiving voucher for my birthday. I'd never go and buy
yeah,
myself a
shit like
skydiving
that.
trip.
Like,
I'm keen to do it.
what is the plan with that, Jock?
Oh, well, no, we're gonna go do it. Still gonna. Well, yeah, we still are gonna do it. Just haven't really.
I heard Walt weighs
Spoken
too
about
much.
Oh, well, I'd say I wouldn't be far behind him.
Oh yeah, we talked about that
Yeah, we
when
did,
you
we
got the weights put in your hand.
Yeah.
Do we want to revisit?
No,
Have you lost weight?
I have
Good.
back to 2 figures,
Nice.
not 3.
Nice. So I've for those of you who are listening and don't follow me on the socials or follow the podcast on the socials, I should say, get onto it. Facebook page is Chewing the Fat Podcast. I like to put up. I've started getting a bit more busy. You guys notice that? A bit of Photoshop work too.
It's getting on there. I saw that.
Yeah.
Good.
That was impressive, actually.
Thanks, mate.
Jocko on the horse.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I've
was,
seen that photo a few times now. It's
It,
getting
ke-
around
it
a
keeps
bit.
popping up, but I don't really know what the appeal in it is.
I was sort of going through it because I thought if I get a picture out from my archive and I put it up, you could not be happy with that because. But if it was on your Facebook, you'd be like, oh, I don't care.
Fair game.
Yeah.
Fair game.
Not that I have like really revealing photos of you or something like
I would hope
just a couple nudes, but so yeah, I'll put that, and I'm thinking that's what I'm gonna do for like the podcast apps that like depending on how the app goes, we'll I'll put up like a few Photoshop things and have a bit of fun with it. But yeah, go follow Chewing the Fat Podcast on Facebook, Chewing the Fat Pod on Instagram. Every other alternative was stolen. I couldn't do CTF podcast. I couldn't do Chewing the Fat. So I had to do Chewing the Fat Pod. And also subscribe to us on Apple, Spotify. I asked you guys to send in some questions this week for our guests. Once I'd confirmed that Jock and Donna were coming, I sent out a thing and just asked everyone to send in some questions. We got a lot of questions, boys. We'll try and get through them as quick as we can, but if there's one that tickles your fancy, we'll talk about it, okay? So the first one is from an anonymous. Hello, anonymous. On average, how many routes does the host pull a week? And the only answer I have to that is all of them. All of the routes.
All of them.
All of them. Another anonymous question. There's a lot of anonymous questions, actually.
I wonder who this anonymous is.
Well, the first one, I think his name rhymes with...
Isn't his name Leroy?
Leroy Schmeiten or something.
Leroy Schmeiten, yeah.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Leighton?
Leighton?
I'm
Leonard?
not too sure. Leonard?
Is it Leonard?
I don't know.
No, I can't remember.
It's not Leyland.
No.
No.
Leroy.
I'm pretty sure it's Leroy too, yeah. The second anonymous question is to Jock. Is there any truth to the claims of an autoerotic asphyxiation love from you?
No. Zero truth from that. That was quite a stitch up.
What happened?
At my 21st, the host of this podcast did a speech, unfortunately,
At your 21st?
at my 21st,
Yeah.
and sprinkled in a bit of untruthful information.
Well, I caught you once, so I thought you must have liked it. But anyways, life goes on. Unless it doesn't, because it can get pretty, that sort of stuff,
I wouldn't know, but I'm sure with the name of
Yeah.
what it has.
Yeah. Michael Hutchins died like that, I think.
Yeah, right.
They caught him. They found him with a rope around his neck and his dick in his hand.
Jesus.
Yep, that's a sour note. But this one's from Nick Holt. to Ben, so to me. And also, this is something that you guys can chime in on because you guys will have a different perspective than me, of course. What are your thoughts on your current golf game, and what does the future have in store? So I think my golf game's getting better. I have spent a lot of money on my golf clubs, so I owe it to my bank account to play most weekends.
What are you playing with, Benny?
What gear?
Yeah.
So I've got a set of Max Fly irons, which are sort of pretty rough.
That's right.
Pretty rough. But then I got a M5, TaylorMade M5 driver.
Hit bombs?
Hits bombs.
Nothing but
Hitting
bombs.
bombs.
When you're not air swinging, Benny.
Yeah, no, I don't. I very rarely. I actually.
There was a game. The last time I played with you, there was a few in there.
And I'll blame that on the driver. There's just too much speed in those drivers, you know, man.
Speed.
Threw me off.
Wow.
I've got a M6 hybrid. I've got.
I love a good hybrid. Hybrid off the deck.
I'm learning. I never really hit a hybrid, and then
Jeez,
they had this M6 hybrid on sale, so I bought it obviously because I was in that stage of my life where I was fucking spending thousands on golf clubs, and but now I'm hitting it really well. Actually, we were playing at Carbrook about a month ago, and we were in this par 5. I drove it. It was in the rough on the right. Sort of had this awkward shot, and then hit it past the hole with the hybrid on this par 5. And I had an eagle putt and a 3-putted putt for par. As you do.
Right.
And then I've got 4 gap wedges. Got 56.
I saw a 64
It's got
degree.
to go up. It's got to be
I've got
marked.
a- I've got a
It's got to be
60.
marked
64 degree there
for the
other day.
game.
I've got a 64.
You got a
That's him.
64.
That's
Yeah.
him.
Yeah. No.
Good effort.
Oh my God. Collingwood have lost. Oh, man.
What a comeback, though.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've got a 56, a 56, a 58, a 60, and a 64.
Wow. 64 would be alright.
64, I can't use the 60.
Yeah,
do you
I was
want my,
gonna say-
do you
can't hit the
do you want my
64.
64?
No.
I'll literally give it to you.
Well, I think 60 is too much anyway.
60's
60's a lot.
good for some bunkers and stuff,
Yeah.
but
64. I remember we were playing the other day, and Ben's pulled his 64, like, what, 80 metres
out.
off the...
You wouldn't be able to get that 20.
no, it wasn't that. I wouldn't have
don't
done.
think-
I wouldn't have done.
I don't think it was that far. But anyway, he's hit it, and it's gone like triple the height high. And it has
Nearly
long.
hit him in the head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nearly come smack up.
It's nuts. Sorry, I lied. I got a 50, a 56, a 60, and a 64. My 50 pretty much serves as a pitching wedge because I don't have a pitching wedge.
What slope? What angle is a pitching wedge usually?
It's like 45, 40,
Oh, okay.
40 to 40, 46 or something, I think.
I don't really use my pitching wedge, to be honest.
Nah, well,
What do you use?
I always go my sandwich. Just
I often drive it so far that
It's usually driver and putter.
driver. So I go driver, putter on par 4s and 3s even. I hit my driver on the par 3s. Par
thought you hit
5s.
bombs.
Par
I
5s.
thought you hit bombs.
Yeah, well, I've got this one that I get out, just hit cute little cuts.
Nice.
And then par 5s, I go driver, putter.
Drive off the deck.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
On you, Benny.
Yeah, so that's actually all I've got is a driver and a putter in my bag. I just carry them in my hand like this.
Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
T in the ear.
Yeah, T in the back of the hat. That's mine.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and they got 4 gap wedges, and then I've got a spider putter, which is beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Where do I see my game in the future? Probably won't win a major, don't think.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd like to get my handicap under 20. Because I think
Go.
if you're under 20, you're mid-handicap, you're sort of like... That's good enough for me. Like
Yeah, it's a good goal.
That's good.
getting to scratch is just fucking ridiculous. Like, you got to play more than I'm able to, sort of
That's
thing.
impossible.
Yeah. But like getting to like a mid-handicap sort of, that means you're not shanking anything. That's what I reckon.
You're playing good golf.
You're playing, yeah. You're hitting most of your shots really
You're doing
well.
2 putts.
Yeah. That's right.
That's
Whereas
good.
at the moment, I'm still shanking the odd shot and shit like that, missing easy putts. And it's just shocking. But you guys have played plenty with me. How do you think I am as a golfer?
Yeah, good, Penny. I think there's a few things. Maybe some lessons, I reckon, to help you swing.
Yeah.
Because your swing's
It's flawed.
It's flawed. It is flawed. You do tend to draw the ball? Slice the ball.
Yeah.
Pretty
I've
heavily.
fixed it a little bit, just myself somehow. I just put a lower half swing, and that tends to get my hands to swing around like that a bit more. Whereas my hands were coming through like a cricket shot before.
Yeah.
That's the thing, like coming from cricket. But now if I just have my back swing lower, I don't go up here, I go lower, and then my hands slap through it like that a little bit more.
Yeah, okay.
I remember playing golf with Ponga in HPE.
Yeah.
And he was saying, because he's a bloody free golfer, right? So I was slicing ball. He goes, you've got to come, I don't know what it was, but you've got to come out then in, but you're coming in then out. Don't know what it means, but that's what you got to do, guys.
Does that make sense? In then out?
I think it's like,
Yuck.
Sorry.
I don't really know what it means. I was agreed, like, yeah, right, mate.
Yeah.
Right, mate. Sounds good.
Right, we'll move on. We got plenty of questions to get through here. So the next one's from Charlie Taylor. Now, we all know Charlie Taylor.
Good man.
Good man. I've met him a few times. The last time I met him, we really got along, and he was one of the inspirations for this podcast. So shout out to Charlie Taylor. He really got me into the game. Because he said he'd come on, and I said, righto, I'm buying the microphones tomorrow.
Wow.
And I did it, and he hasn't been on yet. So
He'd
I'm
be
sure you'll
good
get him
too.
eventually.
yeah, well,
He loves
when
his
he's-
league.
when
He
he's
loves his league.
and his cricket.
His cricket.
So his question is, who's better on the circuit, Dono or Parksy?
On the circuit.
On the piss, on a night out.
Parksy gets blind, man.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to get
I
past
think
Foxy.
so. I think circuit is a cricket term for like when you win a game, you go out and you have a circuit. So like the circuit in town is good. So like you go out on the circuit in Brisbane, you go through the valley and you go through a few clubs. That's a circuit. Like,
Yeah, right.
but the big thing about a circuit is about getting a chop. Now this is all I've learned this all through the Great Cricketer podcast. So there's the 3 C's. There's the century, so you score a century.
Mm-hmm.
There's the chop, which is, obviously chopping a woman, like getting a woman. The 3rd C, what's the 3rd C? I can't remember the 3rd C, but there was 3 C's. So, century, circuit, chop.
Oh, I was going to
They're the
say,
three.
I was
It
like,
is a
it'd be
circuit.
circuit, yeah.
So if you achieve the 3 C's in a night, in a day,
What a game.
Done well.
you've done well. So I think that's something that we haven't gone out with all of you where
Yeah.
you're single and you're on the prowl or whatever, so you
yeah,
can't really,
right.
I don't think a circuit can really be judged.
The
But that
terminology.
aside, I know who I'd vote for, but I want to hear you guys first.
Well, yeah, I think it's pretty hard to get past. Parksy goes pretty hard, but he's a small man. He's doesn't,
Yeah,
Parks-
yeah.
the Parks. Oh, he's getting pretty big now. He's going to the gym a bit.
Is he?
You should see him.
Yeah, right.
Throwing up some iron, the big
looking
man.
good.
He goes through some money, that kid.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
He can
Cannon will shout a bit.
and will party. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I remember that night of the regatta after I'd won a heap on the pokies.
Oh, he
And
bought all those.
I bought a round of espresso martinis. Now, two people hated that. The bartender who had to make fucking 8 espresso martinis, you can imagine, like, fucking just sitting there, just shaking
Nobody's
for
saw four
like
of
half. It was like half an hour she had to spend on just me, like. And then the second thing that hated it was my bank account because that's very expensive.
What did you get?
but-
8.
Yeah, I think it was 8.
Fly to us, mate. That's like 150.
Let's say at best,
That's
at
150.
best, they're $15 each.
They're $18 each.
Well, at best, they're $18. I know it's just silly, but
You're probably sweet talking the bartender, so you probably got them down. To
yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think she was like, "Where do I know you from?"
Yeah.
I was like, "I'm chewing the fat podcast." Yeah, but then the only person who shouted me back on was Parksy.
Oh, jeez.
So that's it shows the quality of the man. I'd say Parksy
Rough call, guys.
in a close one, but
Neck and neck.
maybe viewers out there, if you want to see it, send in, who you think would be better, and potentially should we have a circuit here in the Chewing the Fat studios, and we'll decide
Having
it
a
once and for all.
What's a circuit?
Jeez.
So thanks, Charlie, for that question. Really appreciate it.
On your Taylor.
This is from an anonymous. Now, he's mentioned his own name in the question, so I don't know how anonymous he's going to stay. Can Dono confirm that Crofty got a better badminton grade than him in Year 12 PE?
I cannot confirm that at all because it's completely false.
You don't? Is that right?
Crofty can barely hit the buddy. Is it the cock? Yeah, the cock.
The shuttlecock, yeah.
Yeah, he can barely hit the cock over
He
the
can hit
net.
the cock. He can't hit the shuttlecock, though.
That's a great way to put it, actually. Now, it was actually me and Walte that was bashing it off together to
Oh,
see.
okay, because anonymous made it sound like Crofty had gotten a better mark.
Had it over me. No, I don't think so.
Don't think so?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's an easy one. It's not true.
Yeah, not true, guys.
Anonymous, I'm sorry.
Sorry, anonymous.
Here's another anonymous question. This is also for Dono. He's anonymous has asked how your modelling career is going.
Pretty steady.
Pretty steady.
Pretty steady. Sadly.
It's been pretty slim since that photo shoot at Big Bluff, hasn't it, Don?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, that's still going. Yeah, modelling's going all right.
Yeah.
Modelling's going all right.
Reflect on that.
Good. No, it's good to hear, mate.
Yeah.
No, it's a tough thing to get into
Yeah.
with Instagram and
only
whatnot these days. You're more of a purist though. You don't do the Instagram stuff. You do the real photo shoot stuff.
Real life.
It was a bit of a one-off. I wouldn't say it's going to happen again, but yeah, it's going well.
You did just call yourself a model, so.
Not really, no. Probably should rephrase that.
Another anonymous question. Okay, this one's pretty red hot. But statute of limitations and stuff, I think we're pretty good here. So this is a true or false. Once again, directed at Dono. This anonymous, whoever he is really targeting Dono. Dono would frequently
Oh, whatever the... Oh, God.
would frequently get caught barbecuing alone and would often threaten invaders with his clean-up towel. Can we shine any light on what any of
What's
that
that
sentence,
mean?
what any of that means? I didn't understand a word of it.
I'm lost from the first statement.
So barbecuing alone, did you have a Weber or something in your bedroom, boarding school? Or?
Well, you had a pancake machine.
I had a toasting machine I used to cook pancakes
I had a
on.
kettle.
Yeah, would that be...
Maybe that's what he's talking about.
Maybe that's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And then what? When you'd spill your kettle, you'd use a towel or something?
No, not really.
No? What is...
Maybe.
What's the
Well,
clean?
maybe you just have to go false.
Oh, it's
false.
a definite false. I don't know what he's on about.
Lack of pretext. Or
Oh,
lack of-
okay.
Yeah. Sorry, anonymous.
Sorry, yeah, anonymous.
You'll have to clarify that one.
Yeah. Oh, well, false it is
False,
then,
false it is.
It just, the question didn't make sense from the date, from the start, so.
Yeah, it's starting.
Next question comes in from Harry McKenzie. Obviously,
On your biz, man.
roommate of your...
The great
you
man.
boys, the great...
He's working right now.
He is
Great
a great man.
So he says, question for tonight. List only... Only, you'll understand why I laugh at only. List only 2 things that the Titans must do before the start of next season to move forward.
Oh, only. Oh.
He says only 2 because it has to be the most important things. My 2 things are 1, change your name, and 2, dissolve the club.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's the only way you're going to do better.
Relocate. Number 1.
Yeah.
Oh, it's pretty tough. They're in a predicament.
Number
Titans.
2, Jai Arrow to doggies.
To make Titans better.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
You got to sort out who's. Oh, you've got to sort out who's giving out the contracts because Shannon Boyd on $800,000 a year
Yeah, Bryce Cartwright on
isn't-
800.
isn't doing them any favours.
What's Peachy on? Surely he'd be on some moolah.
Some serious moolah, I'd say. Serious moolah. Now, just bear with me. There's a couple more questions. One's from Jock's little brother, actually, Harry Littlewood.
The other great man.
He's a great man. one
All
of
the way from Canada.
All the way from
all
Canada.
the way from
Wow.
Canada. He actually sent me a video after Melbourne had lost to Canberra, and he's obviously driving tractors or something at the moment.
Yeah.
And it's me saying, I think Canberra will beat Melbourne, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, oh, mate, unbelievable call. That's unreal from you, blah, blah, blah. I was like, thanks, mate. Good on you. I hope the family's well. So he says, ask Jock about the time he flogged me over the head with an old MRF Cashmere Willow cricket bat.
Oh.
You'll get a laugh out of the yarn.
All right. So this is true. This
Yeah.
has happened.
Of course, everything we say on this podcast is true.
It resulted in stitches. Quite young at the time. Harry, I don't know why he had this big, heavy MRF bat. And like we were real young. He could barely lift it. Anyway, I think we were watching some ninja movie or something.
Yeah.
And I've seen one of these ninjas get a sword and like intimidate the other guy and stop it right in front of his face.
Yeah, yeah.
I've said, Harry, I reckon I could do that with a cricket bat. And so I've got this cricket bat and swung it around and tried to stop it right in front of his face, and I couldn't, because it was such a heavy cricket bat.
Hold the
Yeah,
weight.
you
couldn't
smacked him.
I smacked him in the head with the cricket bat and he had to get some stitches.
Jesus Christ, Jock.
Yeah,
Across the nose or what?
Didn't feel great. No, just on the forehead. No, I didn't feel too great about it. Poor
Jeez.
Has. But anyway,
Wow. I can't,
we live and we laugh, hey?
yeah, live, laugh, love. So this is a question from that Leroy character.
Leonard?
Leighton?
Leighton.
Yeah. Leighton.
Leighton, yeah, okay.
Leighton Brighton.
Yep.
He said, what's the name of Jock's dad's catamaran?
All right, so we have a 20-foot catamaran. It's called the Perfect Pussy.
Perfect.
It's
Perfect pussy.
PURRR
Oh.
FECT.
I've had a ride on the Perfect Pussy.
You have, Benny. It's
I've also been out on your dad's boat.
oh God, that's
One of the great jokes. The next one's from Richard Bardsley. Another great man, another friend of the show. He'd be a good guest, actually, I think.
yeah. I think
On your shards.
He asks, yeah, g'day, Ben. Just a question regarding the recently completed Ashes series. Does Matthew Wade scoring 2 centuries guarantee him a spot in the team for the home summer? Or do you think a couple low scores he may be on the selection chopping block? I believe if he were a Marsh, the selectors would leave him in the team for longer than Donna has been in a relationship for. Just for a bit of discussion point. Cheers, boys.
I think that's 100% the case. If it was Matthew Marsh,
Yeah, Matthew Marsh.
he'd be definitely
Yeah.
in this team for a long period of time.
I think he is.
I think he is as well. It was only two Australian players that scored centuries in that series. Matthew Wade with 2 and
there's only
Smitty
like-
with, what, 4?
There's only like five Australians ever that have scored 2 centuries in an Ashes series in England.
Yeah, it's a good effort to score a century. So I think you can't discredit all this. It's not like the rest of Australia's batting was killing it and he was getting all these low
Yeah.
scores. He was much the flow of every Australian batsman
Yeah.
that's not named Steve Smith.
Yeah, that's right.
So I think he gets in there. For
So
this.
do I.
Probably
So-
pending, I don't know, a little bit of... Have a quick look at the Shield season.
Yeah, that's true.
But I
You've
think...
also got blokes like Curtis Patterson, you got Joe Burns, blokes like that who are just flat track bullies who do really well in Australia.
Yeah.
Alex,
Alex Carey.
Alex,
Could you look at him?
yeah, I don't know. I
What
think
do
he's
you reckon if I don't think it's going to happen. Parks is a big believer in dropping Tim Payne.
Yeah.
Do you think Wade takes the gloves, or do you think they try and get Carey in there?
No, I think Carey's the apparent, the next apparent wicketkeeper for Australia, I think.
Do you like Carey's batting over Tim Payne?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thought so.
Yeah, I think so. All right. I think that concludes all the questions we have. Let me just have a double check.
Thanks for the questions, everyone.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, that's all of them. So thanks everyone for sending in their questions. Might do the same thing next week. So if you want to send in a question, you want to get on. If you want to be anonymous, you can be kept anonymous. But that's not fun. So yeah, just send in your questions. I'll have whoever I have on the podcast next time will be answering questions. Look, I think we might finish it there. The last couple of podcasts have gone pretty long, so I might just keep it nice and
Yeah, I think
Sure.
it's good. Good decision.
Short and sweet, Benny.
Yeah,
Loving
once
it,
again, thanks to Hydraulic Steels Australia. You guys probably noticed between the second and third episode that we went up a bit in production value.
Quality,
you know?
yeah, quality.
Quality, yeah. We had the video, we had the new microphones, had the new boom arms. These are unbelievable.
Spring
I love
loaded.
these, spring loaded.
Not quite mine, but
Yours, yeah.
I'm still running on the old mic.
Yeah,
and
you're
the
still
old
running
boom.
on the old one. But your voice sounds so good on it, Jock. I just couldn't do it.
Thanks,
you know?
Benny.
And also thanks to Nate Scholes, especially Will Scholes, who did the intro music. You'll be hearing that obviously at the start and the end of these podcasts. So, and thanks Jock and Dono for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Cheers, Flight Horse.
Thanks for having me, Benny.
No
That's
worries.
I'm looking forward to next time. Oh,
Maybe.
Meh.
Right. Keep chewing, guys, and I'll see you next time.
rough, you fucking cunt.
What?
Fucking looking forward to next time.
Fan.
That was good, Benny.
Fuck.
Chewing the fat. He's chewing the fat.